Hey everybody, and welcome to today's fitness challenge video. If you've been watching along, by now you have picked a goal for yourself. I've got mine. I've got about 12 pounds, well now about 10 pounds I'd like to get rid of. After a month, taking a month off, working out and neglecting the diet a bit. So yeah, you've picked a goal by now that is realistic for you, that you're going to be able to measure, meaning it'll be really clear like whether you've met the goal or not something kind of vague or subjective. What else? You picked a reward for yourself for when you've met that goal. You also know to be drinking lots of water, keeping the water intake high, and getting plenty of rest. And I think that's what we've covered so far. So for today's video, a couple things I want to talk about are the importance of stretching. And most of us are probably aware that just stretching in general is good to keep your body nice and limber, so that it really honestly does help you avoid injury when your muscles are a little bit more pliable. The other thing that people don't realize is most back pain is actually related to having overly tight hamstrings. I've talked about this in past fitness videos I've done, but just to revisit this because it's really important. Your hamstrings, meaning the muscles on the back of your legs, attach at the bottom of your hip bones, okay? So when they're extra tight, which they are on most people, what's going to happen is, because that's where they attach at the bottom of the pelvis there, they're going to pull the pelvis when they're tight at a tilt, if that makes sense. So it's almost like it's tilting your pelvis forward and creates an excessive arch in the lower back. And then that just translates into low back pain, which can work its way up to the rest of the back and the neck and headaches. And I myself have some scoliosis, so I'm really aware of lower back issues and stretching. The other thing from a workout point of view is, the more range of movement that you can get a muscle through, the more you're going to involve that muscle, if that makes sense. So if you're doing a squat, for example, the deeper you can go, the more of that muscle that you're engaging. And therefore, that has great benefit, because you want to be involving as much of the muscle, because that's going to help with that tearing down and rebuilding process for creating a more defined, healthier toned muscle in general. So a couple different things that are important about stretching. The last thing I want to share with you today is just kind of a simple concept, but it really helps me. And so if I can pass it on to you, and it's, at a point in your workout, and you can really apply this to anything in life, where you get to that, and it's good to know that it's going to happen, right? You're going to get to a point where your mind is going to give out before your body does. Meaning that, that little voice in the back of your head is going to say, man, I'm tired. It sure would be nice to stop now and do something else. Or, if you just find that you are getting really physically fatigued and it's getting difficult and you're starting to hit that wall, something that I do and I do with my personal training clients is you just break it down into little chunks. So if you're trying to get through 20 minutes of doing some cardiovascular exercise and you get to about minute 15 and it's getting really difficult for you, just focus on not that 20-minute end goal, but focus on the next minute in front of you and get through it. And then you get to that one, you get to the next minute, and you get through that one. Same with doing weight training exercises or any kind of resistance exercise. If you set in your mind that you want to do 15 of something, which by the way is a number that I recommend in general for doing exercises, is set to 15. And I'll talk about why in another video, but same thing there. For me it's like right at about rep 12 is when I expect that things are going to get challenging and it's going to be hard to get out that last 3, and I just focus on getting through that next one, and then you just get through that next one until you're done. Something sometimes I tell myself is I can do anything one time, and I just keep telling myself that till whatever it is that I'm trying to do is completed. So just a little mind over matter tidbit to pass on to you. And so again, I appreciate that some of you have sent me messages, and question that came up is, when am I going to do my next figure competition? And I will be doing one, I just haven't picked a date yet. I'm just not there yet in regards to committing to an actual show. When I do that and send in the registration is when it becomes real. Because then I'm committed, so I'm just not quite there yet. Just focusing on getting back on track in my business and some life stuff. So thanks for the great questions. Keep them coming, and I will see you in the next video.